I'm John from Coassemble, and today I'm going to run through a demo implementation of a headless integration with a product or platform to show you just how easy it is to get started with your headless integration. To get started, I'm going to head into Coassemble, which I've got open here, and open up the settings modal. Once I'm in the settings modal, I can go to API. And the first thing we're going to do is just give you a quick survey just to understand exactly how you're going to use the API and the headless integration so that we can support you in your implementation. Go ahead and fill that out. Once that's done, I can hit got it. And I'm shown my API credentials. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my API key over to here. On the right side here, I've got my source code for the demo that I'm going to be going through today. And I'm going to put in the API key, and then I'm also going to grab my user ID down here. You could grab the entire header here. What I've done is I've set up these two as variables, as well as my API URL. Note that I'm pointed at a local environment today, but you'll need to point your integration at api.coassemble.com or potentially api.enterprise.coassemble.com, depending on what your setup is. But for today, I'll be pointed at this local environment. Over in my config over here, I've just set up this header that you see here as a variable that kind of interpolates our environment variables over here, just to keep everything secured. So obviously this wouldn't be pushed up in source code. We want to keep those credentials nice and safe and secure. So now that I've got those, we'll close out of this. The first thing that most people are really going to want to do when they're testing the connection, once they've set up their credentials, is to basically see that I can bring in the courses that are in my platform. So you can see here that I've got this course called Life at Coassemble, and I really want to see that in my platform as the first step in my integration. So I'm going to tab over to my People Tech platform. So you can see here that my training should appear, but it's not appearing at the moment. So now that I've saved my credentials, I'm going to go ahead and restart the development server for that. And you can see now that we're pulling in my Life at Coassemble course. Just to show you how that's happening, I've set up this API route, which essentially calls out to the URL we saw before. It calls out to the courses endpoint. You can see the documentation for all endpoints like this, and I develop a documentation, and then it just passes in those headers. So very simple. Once we've got those credentials, it's very easy to just pull down those courses and display them on the page.